Hi everybody and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 19th of August. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Sorcerer's Tarot again for this reading because I absolutely love the cards. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. And these readings, it's kind of like dipping your toe in the water. I check what the energy is like tomorrow by using the cards, and they're telling us what we can do to make the most of it. So there we go. Mysterious, mysterious. So we're going to turn them over one by one today. First card is the Sun King, really. The Master of Wands. The King of Wands, I would say this is. So the King of Wands is really someone who is living his dream. He's an authority figure. He's been at it for a while. In this case, he's a warrior. He's a proven warrior. Wands represents life purpose. It represents passion. It represents desire. But it also represents the ability to face conflict and to stand up for yourself and to stand in your power and to engage in conflict if you need to. Sometimes you get into situations with people where talking and the diplomatic approach simply doesn't work, and certain people are unwilling to make peace. So that is the problem when people start to see each other as separate and versus and me versus them. But if the other party is destroyed, you can either choose the option that Jesus suggested, which is to turn the other cheek and to let that person do whatever they want. But if your life is in danger, all of us are going to fight to survive, aren't we? Because that's human nature and that's human instinct. If someone's threatening you, that instinct kicks in, and whether you're spiritual or not, you're going to do everything to survive. And he's someone who has been doing this for a while. He's good at it, and he protects his people. He's someone you can trust. He's someone who's brave and powerful and strong and a leader, and a good leader. Someone you can really put your belief into. He's not interested in hurting anyone. Look, he doesn't have a sword, he's got wands, and he's heavily armored. So he is reacting to something negative that's been placed on him, and he's doing the best he can, and he's being positive about it. He's relying on himself, on his own strength, on the power within him to get through this situation, and he will complete it. He will see this through for everyone involved. The next card is the seventh card of the major arcana, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot represents triumph and victory and success. And it represents triumph and success when you will something. Look, she's pointing, go there. And the falcon is moving and lifting her to her destination and where she wants to go. And she's giving us a little cheeky view of her behind there. Okay, so I mean, these cards together are unbelievable because I've just talked about this really weathered, experienced soldier who really is a protector of the people and who's a protector of everything that is good. And then we have the Triumph card, the Success card. If I will it, if I decide to go somewhere and achieve a certain goal, in this case to protect my people, to protect those I love, I will be successful and victorious in that endeavor. Final card. We have the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, oh, she's gorgeous. The Queen of Swords is a woman who has graduated through the court. She started as a page, then she became a Knight of Swords, where she had to master her own thinking. The suit of swords is often the most negative and complex one because it involves the ego, because the ego sits in our heads. If if each one of us had complete peace in our minds, if there wasn't war on the inside of us, there wouldn't be any war in the world. And that's why meditation, connecting, stepping into your true power, getting to know who you really are, your strengths and your weaknesses, your flaws and your faults, and accepting all of that. Graduating from the page, learning about yourself, how to speak to yourself, how to treat yourself, how to treat other people, becoming the knight, learning that sometimes certain things really aren't your business. And other times you do have to intervene and you have to act right then and now. And the Queen of Swords, she understands when it's time to exercise restraint or to act appropriately. Here there's another situation. A little gremlin came to attack her, and she did not hesitate in taking the life of this gremlin. Now, you may not agree with that. You may not agree with her decision, but it is her decision to make. And that is really what defines the Queen of Swords, because she is able to make decisions and she doesn't let those be questioned. She's an authority. What's also interesting to note is that in the astrology today, we have Mercury, the communication planet, going direct. So communication goes back to normal. Mercury rules everything to do with the way we think and the way we communicate, and transport and the way we get around. Chariot, victory, success, nice touch there. So what you'll notice is that the electrical things that have been playing up will go back to normal. I really felt this Mercury retrograde with my phone, my TV, my computer, everything, my laptop. But what I also noticed with this Mercury retrograde, because it was in Leo, I really noticed that I had a lot more King of Wands energy in myself. Because every Mercury retrograde forces you to look at other ways of doing things. You look at other ways of thinking, other ways of being, other ways of finding solutions to problems. So please don't forget what you learned during this Mercury retrograde. Every one of them is a teaching experience. And today, I really see a beyond amazing day. You make the right decisions, you know yourself. You're certain of yourself, and if someone disagrees, you're not going to let that stop you. You're passionate, you're experienced, you know what you're doing. This isn't your first time at the rodeo. You know what you want, you know what you're passionate about, and you know what you want your outcome to be. Combine these two elements, which are all about the self. Remember, the ego sits up here. It sits in the mind. So the Queen of Swords doesn't just master negative communication from the external world. So she posts something on Twitter and someone says something really negative. That takes experience as well to cope with that. But she, most of all, has mastered her own ego to a great extent, or at least she's been able to turn the volume down on it so that she's able to really think clearly and to use her mind as a tool to decide, to make judgments, to build things, to create. Combined with the passion, those are all things you have control over, and these are all things that go on within you. So these are the kind of motivating forces that would make you get on a chariot, half-dressed, get your giant falcon out of the stables, I suppose, considering it's that big, and then you go on this really risky venture. I mean, a chariot up in the sky there, if one of those tiny little strings breaks or the falcon decides, let me just scratch these off because I'm tired of having this dead weight lugging me around, it's a precarious situation. So it's a risk. Every victory has a risk involved in it. So today, if you decide that it's time for you to act on something you really care about and you do it, you will come out cheering and triumphant and successful. The only other thing that I can't help but miss is that he is looking over here. and she is pointing over here. So it may seem that the Queen of Swords is also a prize to be won. So it may be that whether you're male or female, you see the thing that you feel is going to enchant and enthrall you, and maybe there's potential also to see and to discover the one you love and the one you respect and who is your equal, because they're equals in very different ways. She's so fair. She's like she's a president. She's a queen. She's someone who understands the nuances of how to bring a people together, how to take care of those under her, how difficult it can be, how tough and what tough decisions you sometimes have to make to maintain the law. And you've got a man here who is utterly strong and brave and powerful. And you have those qualities combined, you're thinking clearly. And with all of this energy floating around, it can also be a relationship. It can be looking at, okay, I see this person, there's absolutely no doubt, and I feel myself pulled towards them, and suddenly I'm standing in front of them and saying, hello, how are you? How are you? It's nice to meet you. So it's a beautiful day, whichever way you play it. If you have a plan, if you have a mission to go on, if you have a decision to make that you haven't been able to, make it today. If you have a huge desire that you want to put into practice, but you've lacked the energy up until now, do it today. You have the energy. And also, if you're out and about, simply, if you've decided, it's Sunday, I'm off, I'm not really going to make life-changing decisions here, I'm going to go out to nature and take a hike and ignore all of this, you may run into a person who really is soulmates, and they appear out of the blue. Whenever the people you fall in love come along, it's like, where did you come from? And how can you be so perfect? And where have you been all my life? They're miracles in themselves when those people turn up, and we certainly have the potential for miracles today, as we do every day. Marianne Williamson says, if miracles aren't happening in your life, then something's gone wrong. Because miracles happen all the time when we're in the flow of the universe, but none of us are all the time. It's impossible, because we do have an ego, and it walks up and down our little head. Thank goodness we've got the Queen of Swords on our side today, helping us out and getting us to victory. So number-wise, we've got 1 and 1 is 2, and 7 is 9, and 9 is spirituality and completion. It's the end of a cycle. So it's interesting because it's the end of the Mercury retrograde cycle. It's the beginning of a new period in your life where you're thinking clearly and things go back to normal in terms of who you are. Don't forget the lessons, like I said, the passion especially, because this Leo Mercury, it really brought us this man. This Leo Mercury in retrograde, it really brought us this guy. And a lot of us realize that we have him inside of us, and that he can also be fun and confident and amazing and a great leader. So we've all learned a lot from that. So remember the lessons, move forward with this next chapter now, and today just decide what it is you want, fix your sights on it, grab it, take it, and you'll be victorious. If you're ambitious and you want to make a big change in your career, your day. But if you're also totally, Sunday's my one day off, I'm just going to chill and sleep, it's also amazing, because in your dreams you may be given some information. If you take a walk, you may run into someone. Any way you look at this, it's a wonderful, great day. So get out and about, or do whatever you feel is right. No one's going to question your decisions, and you're certainly not going to have any problems deciding. So make it happen for yourself. It's your day. You get to decide what it's like, and you're in control. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this new start to this new kind of energy, this new cycle that we're in now. Always wonderful when we're at the start of something new, because life life just goes on. It amazes me how life just goes on and on and on and on and on. And one day none of us are going to be here, and life is still going to be going on and on and on. And it's just this magical process, and it's so hard to define and get a grip on. Anyway, this is a beautiful reading, and it's really beautiful energy tomorrow that really helps you to understand what the miracle of life is all about and how much you can contribute to making that miracle something sparkling like a diamond in your own life. Have an amazing day. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.